We must begin to do things right. Every one of us must change the way we do things, because if you claim you don't know what is happening today, I pity you. It is because you are focusing on arguments. You must not agree all the time. And I bet you, if you are with the people who always agree with you in everything you see, think again. You must have to check yourself again. That is why it is always better for you to be among those who knows better than you, so that you can learn and improve. But when you stay in a place where you feel you know more than everybody, if you're in an environment where you discover that you know more than everybody, you will not have any room for improvement, and you are doomed. You are doomed, because you will not listen to anybody. You will attack your brother simply because he didn't say what you want him to say. He might be saying what you even want him to say, but because he didn't use the language you want him to use, you get angry. The next thing, you begin to attack and castigate and blackmail. There is no law that says that all of us must speak in one tone. And that is why, as an ofuchikere, but as they say, we as an ofunnemoro, but obu ofuchikere. I've forgotten how they give that parable. That ofunnemoro, but obu ofuchikere. Ka ofuchikere, but obu ofunnemoro. See, there will always be that variance in everything. We can't always be speaking on the same tone. We can. People have a different way of doing things. Even though sometimes somebody will do it in a way that you don't understand, give it a chance. Allow that person. Don't destroy, don't attack, don't castigate, don't blackmail, simply because you do not understand the direction the person is going, or maybe you don't believe in what the person is saying. One of the things that is causing us setback today is blackmail. Blackmail, lies, and propaganda. It is causing it a great havoc. It has cost us a lot. Lies have cost us a lot from the beginning, from the very first moment after the declaration of Biafra. Something we have all been waiting for a very long time. Exactly. Ofun nemoro, but oburu ofuchikere. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Ofun nemoro, but oburu ofuchikere. That is it. We must always remember that. Those who understand Igbo language. Ofun nemoro, but oburu ofuchikere, meaning that born of the same mother, but not created of the same God. Children can be born of the same mother, but not created by the same God. Within themselves. Ofun nemoro. You must always remember there will be that variance. There will always be that variance. All this why I have looked right, left, and center, and the only solution I see within myself is that I should continue to talk about how we can be able to unite ourselves so that we can go back to where we are coming from and stand the way we stood. That same way we stood and declared Biafra. That same way we stood and declared Biafra before the enemy came and began to create divisions and parties and sections from the pit of hell. It is very, very sad. It's very, very sad that we are where we are today. But it is not our making. It is not our making. Whatever happens, my beloved brother and sister, Biafra will definitely come. The only problem is that our actions is creating more delay and delay. Our actions, our attitude is bringing more delay, is creating more delay. And the more we continue to go on that path and direction we are going, will be delayed more. Ask yourself, what is the fate of Biafra today? That's Biafra you have dream. What is the fate? If we continue on this path of self-destruction, what is going to be our fate? You see why unification is very important. The world is listening. They are listening. They are hearing us. Every single statement we make or we talk, they interpret it. Sometimes you on your camera and you bring your brother or your sister and you tear them into pieces. You think you're talking about them. No. It is not about them. You are only exposing yourself and making yourself cheap to the world. Because however you describe your brother is what you have. You have the tendency of being the same. However you describe your brother or your sister, you have the tendency of having the same attitude. That is one thing people don't understand. Why do people go to families and make inquiry when they want to go and marry? Why do you make inquiries? When you want to go and marry and take a new wife, in our tradition, you ask questions. Why do you ask those questions? Even though you know the lady you want to marry, she's a very good person. She is very good to her as a person. She presents herself very good. She has a good record on herself. But yet, when you want to get married to such a person, you ask questions about her surroundings. Why do we make such investigations? Why do you make investigations around the person you want to marry instead of focusing on that very person? The reason you make such investigation is because whatever you see around that person in her family, there is every tendency that that thing you see in her family will be in her. That is why you make those inquiries. That is why when you want to marry, even though you have known the lady or girl for a very time, when it comes to marriage, if it's for friendship, no problem. You limit your thought within her because after all, you are not building a family with her. It's not affect your lineage, it's just on friendship. But once you get to marriage, you go extra mile to ask questions about things surrounding her. Because it is those things that are around her that will give you the full definition of her and whom she can be at any minute. Because while with her, there are certain things, character you will not see. There are certain things that are hidden you cannot see in friendship. But when you look at the things around them, around her, you can be able to get the full package of whom the person is. Then you make the decision whether you're going to continue the marriage or not. With this very illustration, you now understand why you must not wash your dating enemies in the public. That when you are narrating your brother or your sister, you are just telling the world, this is who I can become at any time. That thing you are talking about your brother, about your sister, you have the tendency of being like that. That is what you're just telling them. That every tendency, that is why when they talk about investigations of blood relation and all whatnot, you make inquiry. They tell you, oh, this girl, there was somebody who was mad in their family. There was somebody who stole in the past. There was somebody who did behave like this. There's somebody who married and killed her husband, or who married and killed his wife. There's somebody who did this, did that. All these things. When you investigate them, you now sit back and know the package that the person is coming with. That everything you have had, there is every tendency that you can see one of them in that very person. Then you make up your mind and prepare yourself whether you can be able to take the bullet or not. No matter how you love that very person, the love can only make you to prepare yourself more now that you have known what to expect. So that when you will see those things, you will not be surprised. I am going to this illustration to tell people who are castigating their brothers and sisters the implication of doing that. I am just making you understand the implication of doing that. My brothers and sisters, your attitude you are portraying today, your behavior today, is it building legacy or it is betraying the cause of Biafra? Is it building or it is betraying the cause of Biafra? My fellow Biafrans, we must be very careful what we do. We must be very careful what we say. We must be very careful because we have a great challenge ahead of us. Many people have lost their life. Many people have died. A lot of sacrifices have been made, and people are still making sacrifice till date. People are still making sacrifice till date. Why will you be standing against that sacrifice that your people are making? Sometimes when you want to do certain things, you remember our Supreme Damazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has lost his father. He lost his mother. He didn't even have the opportunity to say goodbye to them. They were buried in his absence. Even upon that, he didn't have his freedom. He has been in detention for more than 5 years and still counting. When you remember this, think again before you do anything you want to do. Many people have gone because of Biafra. Look at Mazi Simon Ekpa with a very beautiful, beautiful career. A very wonderful career that he has built in Europe. With such career, what else will a human being be looking, will a person be looking for? With such kind of career that have presented him an opportunity to aspire for anything, even up to the presidency. He can contest for president of Finland in the future and win. He can contest as a president of Finland. But he decided to dump all those things and focus on his people. But what did his people do? His people spat on him. His people, some of us, were in the front line of betraying him and continue to betray him up to today. It is heartbreaking. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was sold out. We know the betrayal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Both those who betrayed him and those who betrayed him after the kidnapping, the afterthought betrayal. We know all that. And they have not stopped. Even up to today, they are still betraying him. They are still betraying him. By them rejoicing at the sentence of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, it is a betrayal to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you don't know it. Anyone that is rejoicing at the pronouncement of judgment on Mazi Simon Ekpa, if you are rejoicing, you are betraying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Directly, not indirectly. It's only a senseless person that we see. We open his mouth and say, you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, I want unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And you are there, you heard the sentence of Mazi Simon Ekpa, and you rejoice. You say, yeah, you applaud Finland, they did the right thing. And then you come back to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you say, oh, release him, free him. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You can only deceive yourself, but you can't deceive us. I think it has been made more easy for us to know those who doesn't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be freed. Because it doesn't need rocket science. Every one of us, except you just started yesterday. Even if you started yesterday, just go take your time. Go and watch the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You will see that what Mazi Simon Ekpa was keeping was the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even spoke strong words that Mazi Simon Ekpa could not be able to use. At a point in time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used strong words. Strong words. He used strong words. And today, because you hate Mazi Simon Ekpa, you are destroying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the same time. You don't know. You are transferring your hate because of your personal hate, not because he did anything to you, just because you see him as a threat. Because you cannot be able to stand his knowledge. You cannot be able to say, oh, this person that came yesterday now have just overshadowed everybody and become the limelight. He did not bribe anybody to follow him. What he did is just to preach the gospel. What he did was to support Biafran people. What he did was to make sure that our land is protected. You hear what is happening, and you are clapping, you are clapping, you are clapping. You hear what is happening, you are clapping. I see many of them online. After praising Finland for detaining Mazi Simon Ekpa, then you turn around and say, oh, Mazi Nandekan was released, and Nigerian government cannot jail Mazi Nandekan. They can't try it. Mazi Nandekan must be freed. They cannot jail him. They cannot try to do that. If they do that, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. After setting an example for Nigeria, then you think that the Zoological Republic doesn't know what they are doing. The Zoological Republic that know that the case of Mazi Nandekan has become an international issue, that the whole world is paying attention, and they don't know what they're going to hold hand. They don't know upon which president they're going to stand and begin to sentence Mazi Nandekan. That is why they continue to delay and delay. They don't know. There's no way to stand because they are scared what the response of the world will be. They are scared. And it was Mazi Simon Ekpa that put the case of Mazi Nandekan on that level. It was shoot up to the level that every international organization is aware. Countries of the world, people, human rights activists are involved. Mazi Simon Ekpa was at the forefront of pushing it. With so many other people, every one of us, we push it to the highest level. That is why Nigeria is scared of pronouncing any sentence. And now they wanted to test the water. And they passed through another way. You know British what they are? I believe it is the advice of the British. Using Finland. Finland should first of all go on with the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, then finish it up. Then so Nigeria can be able to lay hand there, and the judge will just tell you in Finland, so happen with this and that, and they begin to make reference and compare. Before you know it, they will pronounce their own judgment, and then you will be ranted. You will go on and begin to rant. What are you going to do? You begin to rant as a user. And some of you will now go and begin to talk Opitobi. Bunch of, I don't know what to call them. You are working against yourself. You think you are fighting against Mazi Simon Ekpa. You think it is against, it is not against Mazi Simon Ekpa. All those nonsense you are doing. You are doing against yourself. Your concern should be, now that the Mazi Simon Ekpa is not in the picture, what is the future of Biafra? Have you ever thought about that? Now that he's not there, what is the future of Biafra? What do you have to offer? You that see him as a threat, you saw him as a threat, you blackmail him. You blackmail him, you betrayed him because you saw him as a threat. Now, what is the future of Biafra? What can you offer? What can you offer? What can you bring to the table? Nothing. There's nothing you can bring. It will be so painful that just in few months, so people are already forgetting the sacrifice of Mazi Simon Ekpa. I will not be one of those who will forget the legacy of sacrifice made by our leaders. I will not be one of those who will be silent and allow them to be swept under the carpet. No. With my little platform, I will try as much as possible to keep their legacy alive and speak about them every blessed day until they are free. I will continue to speak about them every blessed day until they're free. Some of us don't know what they're going through. These are men who has put every single thing on the line. And they are not just fighting against small powers. The battle is against the big dogs you have in the world. The people that you call United Nations who are not united, they are the ones who are against our leaders. The same people we are calling upon to come and look, they are the ones involved, directly and indirectly, because of their own interest in Nigeria. They can't do anything. If not, tell me, how can United Nations give Nigeria ultimatum to release Mazen Nandekan? And they did not do so. Yet, no punishment was given to them. No sanction was given. Instead, the same countries that they disobeyed their law continue to go on with their bilateral relationship and continue to do deals with them. How do you explain that? The arbitrary committee of the United Nations told Nigeria to release Mazen Nandekan within 6 months. Now we are going to 5 years. That instruction was given about 2-3 years ago. Nigeria declined and never did anything. And there was no punishment whatsoever. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? How do you explain that? That you gave instruction to a country. Remember, this is not the first time Nigeria is getting involved in kidnap. Nigeria was involved in kidnapping in the 80s by the same Muhammad Buhari that kidnapped Mazi Samanekwa. And in that kidnap, though the kidnap did not succeed, but yet everyone that was involved in that kidnap was penalized. The aircraft banned. Everyone that was involved was punished. Nigeria got a sanction. Why is it that in the present time, the kidnap of Mazen Nandekan from Kenya, that was very clear, and they succeeded? They went to extraordinary rendition. Yet, Nigeria has not gotten any single punishment for that act. Nigeria did not get any punishment for that act. Instead, United States is negotiating arms deal with Nigeria. The UK is busy strengthening their bilateral relationship. The French, which is the mother of all criminals, is in Nigeria, engaging in all manner of fraud. These are the people who have a strong seat in the United Nations, and yet they did nothing. They did nothing. They did nothing. Every one of us, wherever we are, if you know what is against us, you will know that we are not supposed to have any time about ourselves. We are supposed to be shouting on every platform, speaking about the injustice against us, because I believe there are still men of conscience out there that will hear us. There are men of conscience. Why do we allow ourselves to be distracted with irrelevant issues? Why don't we continue to shout on top of our voices about the atrocities of the Nigerian government and their allies against the Biafran people? Why not continue to bring up the atrocities of the enemies against us from all angles? Why not we continue to tell the world what is going on in Biafra land, not minding who is involved or what is involved? There are still men of conscience out there. There are still people. I still strongly believe there's no way everybody will be corrupt. There's no way. Even in the UK, in the United States, there are still men of conscience who will come across our content and they say, no, this is not happening. But when they come in, what are they going to see? When they come to our platform, what are they going to see? Are they seeing us providing solutions? Are they seeing us speaking about our problem? Or are they going to see us fighting ourselves? Are they going to see us as the problem of ourselves? Or are they going to see us as people who need help? You can imagine. You can imagine what my brother is saying. Netanyahu also negotiating arms and security with a Nigeria terrorist government. You can imagine that. You can imagine that. You can imagine Israel government of all people negotiating arms deal. Unbelievable. I have not seen this, my brother. I will go and look it up. I will go and look it up. Unbelievable.
You see, that is why people don't know what we are facing. The problem we are having in our hand is not a small one. It is not a kind of problem that you will have a break, or you leave it and begin to talk about other things. I have not heard this, but I will go and look it up. If Netanyahu could negotiate, the man at church Abasalan. This is how bad it is. But some of us are not paying attention to all those nonsense. I have not seen this. I'm going to look it up. My brother ex-Beno said Netanyahu also negotiating arms and security with the Zoological Republic. My brothers and sisters, we really need to buckle up. We must not forget the sacrifice that our leaders are making, sacrifice they have made already. Ask yourself, what you are doing today, is it keeping their legacy or a betrayal? Is it legacy or betrayal? Your actions, your programs, your comments, is it legacy or betrayal? Which one? Where do you belong? We must answer that question and answer it sincerely from our heart. And I bet you if we do, it will help us to solve a lot of problems. My brother Coach Chooks, you're welcome. Thank you for joining, Coach Chooks. I see you there. Coach Chooks, if you're there, unmute yourself and let's hear you.
Yes, good morning, Mazi, True Survivor. Good morning from my side here, and good morning, the new Biafrans all over the world.
You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
First of all, my brother, True Survivor, everything that is happening now, we are not surprised. We are not surprised at all, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it all. Likewise, Mazi Simon Ekpa, he also repeats the same thing. And in that aspect, when all these our leaders are out saying all these things, none of us we are not going to say that we are not hearing it. And at the same time, so many of us that are out now shouting Biafra, Biafra. And that aspect, they will be saying they have been following Mazi. No, they will be saying they have been following Waziriki right from time. There is a program that one of our brothers make today, Read Biafra TV. He do that program today. It's a long time agitation. No matter to cause so many damages in the life of the people that is agitating for that freedom. Which is the thing, if you look at those things now, it's in written notes, which is actually thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. He said if you want to hide something for a black man, you should put it in written form. That thing will be there for donkey years. None of us are going to go and look into all those things, all those documents. And again, if you remember when Mazi Simon Ekpa come in, he said this freedom that he come out to come and look for, it not come with clean eyes. And at the same time, we're not going to pass 5 good years.
yes.
That is to tell you, Mazi Simon Ekpa have known international law, and he also know what long-time agitation can do in the life of people. That's the reason why he choose 5 good years. That this freedom that is given, we're not going to look for it more than 5 years. And every one of us know what play out. Less than 5 years or less than 3 years, it declare United States of Biafra, which is every one of us is saying it today. That the same Mazi Simon Ekpa that said this freedom that they're talking about. That the same Mazi Simon Ekpa that say we're not going to look for this freedom more than 5 years. He's the same person that so many people, they are in their platform. So many people is in Nigeria here, jubilating that the same person, that Finland government have jailed that person, that our leader.
Very
This is
shameful.
what to tell you that anybody that is jubilating that Mazi Simon Ekpa is in prison today, none of them want this freedom they are talking about. None of them is following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with genuine heart.
At all.
And so many of them that are shouting another savior. And so many of them that is shouting Oba Tobi. So many of them that they are rejoicing today. They do not believe in those two of our leader. It doesn't matter the person that is moving the move, that is in front line now. Whether you and the person have an issue before, whether you like the person or whether it's a woman or is a man, it doesn't matter. He did not believe in those two of our leader before. He did not believe on them. And back to what is happening now. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that all these people, that Biafra is the last miracle on earth, that the whole world will going to turn their back against us. The comment of our brother here that Israel is negotiating on something like that with Nigeria terrorist government, we are not surprised. Even so many of them, even the same Russia that is fighting against the West today, if you come across them that they are negotiating the same hands deal with Nigeria, we are not going.
We're not hearing you, Coachux. We lost brother Coachux. Check your network. I think you are having a network issue. Check your network. Coachux, check your network. Check your network, Coachux. We lost our brother. I think he's having a network issue. Just be patient. Let's see if he can be able to reconnect back. Coachux, we can't hear you anymore. We can't hear you anymore. Check your network. Check your network provider. I think you are having a break.
Nigeria government to follow.
Check your network and reconnect back. Maybe you can just go out and come back in again so that we can be able to hear you clearly. You can just go out and come in again so that we can hear you clearly. Yes. So my fellow Biafrans, just as we are saying, the worst thing that any Biafra can do is to rejoice at the predicament of his brothers or sisters. That is the worst thing anybody can do. And if you are a genuine freedom fighter, not just Biafrans, you should know that injustice against one is injustice against all. The injustice against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, cannot be tolerated by any genuine activist in this world. And that is why so many of them are speaking up. And we will never allow that injustice to stand. No matter what. We will not allow that injustice to stand. Everything we are seeing today is bordered on trying to discourage Biafran people. Everything we are seeing today is bordered on trying to discourage our people. And these people have mastered this craft so much. The craft of divide and rule, divide and conquer. They have been using this. That is the only strategy Nigeria have been using with the British to manipulate and continue to take control. And they are, each time they apply it, they succeed. Even in a local issue, even in local gathering, they apply it, they always succeed. It is very sad. It is very sad. Today, they are making you to be afraid of the struggle. They want you to be afraid of speaking about freedom. They want you to be afraid of talking about Biafra. They want you to be ashamed, not just afraid. They want you to be ashamed of mentioning Biafra. The same way they did to Igbos in Nigeria. There are some people today that can't even answer their Igbo name. Some people are using double English name because of what Nigeria has put forward before them. This is what we see. And we must continue to reject it as much as we can. Don't allow them to have upper hand. No matter how they try, do not allow them. We must continue to speak and speak to the authorities with all our strength and all our might. Go ahead, my brother Coachus. Let's see if we can hear you now. We lost you. I think it's a network problem.
Yes, Mazi survivor. Am I coming out now?
Yeah, you're welcome, my brother. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. As I was saying before about what is happening now on most of our people, and at the same time, all these our leaders today. Everything that is happening today, we are not surprised. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it all. That Biafra is the last miracle here on earth. At the same time, all these people, most of these Americans and all these West and all of them in short, that they are negotiating about arm deal with Nigeria. We are not surprised. Because in that aspect, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said is the last miracle, that all these people are going to turn against us. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said they're going to turn against us, that is what is happening now. Can we imagine that the same British that are talking about, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is holding British passport, and Kenya and Nigeria then collude to bring him back to Nigeria here? British, are they going to say they don't see what is going on? Are they going to say they did not hear that one of their citizens is not with them again? Because he's a Biafran, because he's a black. If he's their own, if he's white as well, are they going to keep silent since then? They can know what to do. Because they know that this person, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is fighting to end their claim, how will I even put it myself? The company that they established in Nigeria here, called Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is planning to end it. That's the reason why they keep silent. And our people is helping them to do that work, to do that job. And so many of them on social media happy that the same person you are supporting is holding Finland. And some people are rejoicing. This is the right time for every one of us to know that this freedom that they're talking about is not for our leaders alone. It's not for me and you. It's not for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's not for Mazi Simon Ekpa. It's for every one of us and our born generation. And that aspect, every one of us is supposed to know that this freedom that they're talking about, if everything is settled down today, everywhere that Biafrans is in this world, ordinary form of Akbakamba or Bakasachakanin, that is how Biafra is all over the world. And that is what United States of Biafra has declared. And this is the right time for every one of us to come and join hands together. That our freedom is complete. Because without us uniting together, who is the person that we're going to appeal this court case that I'm talking about now. It's country to country. Because without us declaring United States of Biafra on 29th of November 2024, this appeal that they're talking about, there will not going to be anybody that will going to go and appeal that court. Because you're not going to carry this thing. What is this name? Organization to go and appeal a court. It's not done anyway. It's country to country. And that's the same Finland that we're talking about. That said we should go and get our freedom in legal way. Finland know how they get their own freedom. They execute so many of their freedom fighters. Some people that not align with their declaration. So many of them. Some people that, those that stand under their declaration. That is exactly the thing that Biafrans is doing today. United States of Biafra has declared, and we are standing upon that declaration. They want us to go and do the same thing that they do